We have a special episode of the e-commerce connections. Today, we have a team member from the Amazon Ads international marketing team, and we're going to be talking about multi-country advertising. So let's get started. Patrick, welcome to the channel. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, Crystal. Good to be here. So I'm Patrick Moufawad. I work on the Amazon Ads international marketing team. We focus on helping small and medium-sized businesses grow their presence on Amazon through advertising. And a big part of that is making sure that the sellers have the knowledge and the tools to scale their business internationally through what we call multi-country advertising or global advertising. So that's why I'm very excited to be here today.
I'm really excited as well because I think this is going to be something very new for all of our viewers that, as you know, Patrick, mostly are focused on Amazon in the MENAT region. But with that being said, let's talk a little bit more about what does this multi-country advertising, what does it mean?
Okay, so great question. So multi-country advertising refers to when a seller is advertising across multiple countries. And it's usually beyond the countries where his business was born. So to help them do so, Amazon has released and keeps releasing new tools within the Amazon Ads advertising space that helps those sellers easily create and manage campaigns across multiple countries from a single account. So basically, instead of you juggling different interfaces for different countries, you're able to centralize all of your advertising activity in one place and have reporting across all of the countries in one place as well, making it much easier for you to scale your business internationally.
You know, one of the unique things about Amazon is the fact that you as a small business owner are able to really expand across different marketplaces quite easily. If you had to do it on your own, obviously it would be much more difficult. So with that being said, why is this something that is very vital for sellers to know about right now?
So Crystal, we realize that retail is becoming increasingly global. So more and more audiences are shopping across borders. And sellers told us that they wanted an easy way for them to reach those global audiences without needing to become experts in every one of those countries.
Yeah.
With all of the complexities that come with it, right? So, think of languages, currencies, interfaces. So essentially, multi-country advertising simplifies how sellers reach global audiences while saving them time in managing ads across countries.
Wonderful. So I know we talked about general information here, but let's do a deep dive. Let's take it a step further. And let's talk about the benefits of international advertising.
Of course. So there's several benefits. The key of which is expanding your reach. So multi-country advertising will allow you to reach millions of new customers across Amazon's international stores. Right?
Incredible.
Second, it will allow you to leverage global shopping events. Those high traffic events are usually like per country, for example, or there's even global ones like Prime Day, or you can think of Black Friday in the US. And multi-country advertising allows sellers to be visible and make the best of those global events, global high traffic events.
And not necessarily just focus on those high traffic events in the country of where you are located.
Exactly,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
The third major benefit, it simplifies ad management, right? So think of like, instead of handling multiple interfaces for different countries, you can do it all in one space. The fourth benefit is the time savings that come with it. So instead of you spending time in building and optimizing campaigns for each country separately, you can do it all at the same time. So all of this means that it's now easier than ever to test new markets and scale your presence internationally without incurring a proportional increase in your costs.
Now, of course, Patrick, there's a lot of challenges when somebody wants to go and expand to international markets. Maybe one of those challenges, if not maybe the hardest challenge, would be language. Like, for example, it would be very difficult for me to expand to Germany, seeing that German is not a very easy language for us to get a hold of. Also, currency might be an issue. So how do these common challenges, how can we overcome them, basically?
You hit the nail on the head, Crystal. So these are the major barriers that we see when you're trying to expand internationally your ads, right? So let's break it down and talk about three major things that we can help with. And let's start with language, as you said.
Yeah.
So Amazon offers a lot of translation tools that help you address locales where you don't speak the language. First, if you don't speak a certain language, you are able to put the keywords that you want to target in that country in your preferred language.
Yeah.
And Amazon will automatically translate and match it to the keywords that are being used by the local shoppers. Second piece of language is if you don't know the exact keywords that you want to use for that country, Amazon will suggest keywords that are relevant for your products, and it will show them to you in your preferred language so that you can understand and pick which one to use for your ad in that new country. So for example, imagine that you are an English-speaking seller that is selling in the MENA region, maybe in Saudi, which is more of an Arabic-speaking country. You can either put your keywords in English and Amazon will translate them into Arabic, or you can choose some of the recommended keywords from Amazon, which you are going to see in English, but they're effectively based on local search habits in Arabic, right? And then you can choose from them so that you can access the Saudi market.
This is incredible, by the way. I don't want to cut you off because we're talking about really important things, but this is incredible because this is a very big pain point for a lot of sellers. They don't know how to access this data. They sometimes rely on third parties that don't provide the right information. So that's incredible. Please continue.
Exactly. So the second biggest pain point, and I think you mentioned it as well, Crystal, is currency. So anything that has to do with campaign metrics or billing can be converted into your preferred currency. This means that you don't have to deal with currency conversions when you're looking at different countries using different currencies that are different from the one that you use in your business in your home country. So the third piece is ad localization. So Amazon offers tools for sellers to localize their creatives and ads to the countries that they are selling in easily. We can do that across anything from product titles to sponsored brands video ads.
Incredible. I know there's a lot of information to dissect there, but I do want to move forward because I do want to ask you a little bit more about real life case studies. But before we dive into that, let's talk about AI. So artificial intelligence is becoming something that is very common for us. We utilize it on a daily basis, and Amazon now within the platform is integrating AI to make, sellers' lives, even shoppers' lives easier. So how does AI integrate into this new multi-country advertising system?
Actually, AI is at the core of a lot of what we do. Specifically, it targets two main things when we think about multi-country advertising. So the first one is campaign optimization. So all of those keywords or bids that we are suggesting for you in a new country that you don't understand, where it's based on a lot of technology in the back end that's helping us source what is the best keyword to suggest for you. The second piece is actually generative. So a lot of like the generative AI.
Yeah.
So we are able to generate ad copy and creatives for your ad very quickly. We have tools for Amazon advertising that does that. You're also able to adapt a lot of the creatives that you have to a certain new country just in a couple of seconds in the advertising console as well.
Incredible. Making life so much easier for sellers. Let's talk about real life case studies. I'm sure you have a lot of examples to provide sellers that are watching us today about sellers that have been able to use multi-country advertising and expand or share with us.
So a good example is a seller that's called MorphCostumes. It's a UK-based seller that has expanded across Europe. So by leveraging a lot of the tools that we are talking about right now, such as creative localization, they were able to streamline their ads across Europe. And they were able to increase their sales by 26% by leveraging an Amazon global ads strategy. Actually, we have a very cute documentary that follows the journey of MorphCostumes. So maybe we can link that in the comments of the video. But we do also have a lot of other sellers that have managed to leverage multi-country advertising tools very successfully. So we've seen it across multiple industries. We have things from health to coffee roasters to multiple other industries that have seen success with multi-country advertising. And that's all of those case studies are available on our website. So we'll link our website as well for any seller that is interested in learning more about that.
There are a lot of information to unpack. So certainly we'll add all of the details for anyone that's interested in the description box of the video. Let's dive a little bit deeper and talk about some best practices. What are the main challenges that sellers face when it comes to running ads globally?
So if I had to boil it down to four key things or four key challenges, first of all, I would say that a lot of the sellers tend to overcomplicate things. So they want to launch the perfect, most unique campaign per country from the start. We usually recommend that you start small and grow as you see success, right? Second biggest piece is not localizing enough to the locale that you're getting into. So if you don't really look at what are the local search practices, you might be missing out on a lot of optimization opportunities that you can do specifically for that country. The third one is not leveraging reports as much as you should. So we have a wealth of reports that will show you a lot of what is actually working and what is not working. And if you don't really track those reports, if you don't really optimize your campaigns, then you're unlikely that you're going to find specific strategies that are going to work for each country. And the fourth one is what I can say is related to more unrealistic expectations. So international expansion takes a little bit of time. So being strategically patient pays off. So by looking at all of these four different categories of challenges that I just mentioned, I think you can tailor a very good strategy towards how you expand internationally, and then you can make it localized and nuanced and strategic in terms of how you expand.
Great. So now sellers might get a little bit confused because, they want to target every single country out there, of course. But with that being said, is there a certain strategy that you recommend for sellers to expand to particular countries or, let's say, marketplaces first? What would be the strategy?
Yeah, so I would recommend that first start with shared languages. So, for example, if you're a US seller, maybe look at the UK, right? Yeah. And if you are a seller based in MENA, right? So if you are a Saudi-based seller, look at, for example, Egypt, or look at Dubai, UAE as well. Yeah. Exactly. Second, look for neighboring countries. And this is important because usually neighboring countries are easier to manage when it comes to inventory. Yeah. So you always have good inventory behind your ads.
And probably demand would be very similar since the culture would be very similar. We see this in UAE and Saudi as well.
Exactly. Yeah. And that leads me actually to my third point as well. So it's very important that you identify demand for your products in the marketplaces that you are launching ads. And you have to make sure that your niche is not oversaturated with competition so that you can have a good leeway for you to succeed in this new marketplace.
Now, I want to take every single advantage of having you on the channel so I can get great information for all of our viewers and the incredible sellers in our region. With that being said, I'm sure you are in touch with a lot of Amazon sellers that are using multi-country advertising. Do you have some tips or best practices that you can share with the audience?
Sure. So I would say start with one or two countries that share the similar characteristics to your home country, just as we were speaking about a little bit. Start with your best performing products and use automatic targeting. This means that Amazon will match your ads to the best that's available for you in that locale, and then you can use those insights to optimize your campaigns accordingly.
I'm smiling because a lot of the sellers that we work with, they think they should advertise their worst performing products. So I'm very happy that you're actually telling everyone that no, if the product is already performing well on Amazon, giving it some support via ads just gonna accelerate that growth. It's quite difficult to get a product that is probably not performing well for various reasons, to get it from 0 to 10 versus 5 to 10 as an example.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's in the context of launching in a new country, it's also important that you make sure that it's not product related, and then you can develop the insights that are related specifically to the advertising practice and not to the product. So it makes it more simple when you start a new country as well.
Perfect.
So the last bit of advice I would say is use dynamic bidding. So let Amazon dynamically optimize the bids that you have for your campaigns. So after you launch your campaign in a new country, there's another set of recommendations.
Yeah.
The first one is be patient. So give enough
Quite
time.
difficult. Quite
Exactly.
difficult.
So give enough time for your campaign to gather data
Yeah.
of the new country. Second, look at the unified global dashboard where you can able to see your campaign, how it's performing across countries. That will give you a lot of good insights about what's working and what's not working and what are the nuances that you need to take into consideration for each country. And third is when you start seeing results, scale gradually. Take some of the profits that you're making from the successful campaigns and invest them into your international expansion campaigns. The last bit of advice is stay informed. So there's a lot of high traffic events that are happening in multiple countries around the world. Make sure that you know what are those events so that you're always on top of it, and then you can make use of those high traffic events for your ads in that new country.
Patrick, all of your insights and information is very valuable. Before we wrap up, what are some additional key points or advice that we can provide sellers that are thinking of going international, the international route?
So the key advice that I would say is don't let perfect be the enemy of good. So a lot of sellers are waiting for that perfect moment where they can expand globally. My recommendation is start small and scale gradually, have a good strategy, and set realistic expectations. Amazon has created the tools for you to expand very simply. So take the first step and let the tools do the work.
Rely on the tools, basically. Rely on Amazon. Thank you so much to the Amazon ads team, to you, Patrick, for all of these insights, all of this information. I know this is a very unique episode. I'm sure most of you have never heard about multi-country advertising. That's why I thought it would be great to introduce you to this unique opportunity. Patrick, what are the last bit of advice that we want to tell sellers?
I would just end by saying to the sellers, don't forget to leverage the support that is available. Whether it's the tools, reports, or case studies, there's a wealth of information that is available out there for you to succeed.
Yeah.
Make sure to check those out. We're going to link the website in the comments.
Yes, for sure. Thank you so much, Patrick. For everyone, please make sure that you leave your comments and your questions. We want Patrick back on the channel. So leave all of your comments, questions in the comments section below. Check out all of the resources that we will be adding in the comments as well as in the description box of this video. Big thank you and big shout out to the entire Amazon ads team. And I'll see you in another video with more information.